The turkey was still steaming when my sister said my number out loud. 12 million, she whispered first, like a prayer, then louder, testing the room. $12 million. Forks froze midair. Cranberry sauce slid off a spoon and stained the tablecloth like a small, unnecessary wound. I didn't look up. I kept carving. Clean lines, calm hands, the kind you learn when you've already decided how this ends. My mother found her voice before anyone else. "Is that true?" I nodded once. No explanation. Truth doesn't need padding when you're about to watch it be weaponized. They didn't ask how. They asked why I hadn't told them. They asked what I planned to do with it. They asked, inevitably, what my sister deserved. I've known that word my whole life. Growing up, my sister was the sun and I was the furniture. She broke things and they called it passion. I paid for repairs and they called it reliability. When she failed out of college, I covered tuition. When she quit jobs, I covered rent. When she crashed cars, I signed checks and apologies. Love, they told me, was flexibility. I believed them. That was my first mistake. The second was letting my accountant attend Thanksgiving. He didn't say a word. He didn't have to. My sister had already been snooping through my phone, a habit she never broke because it never cost her anything. She found a balance sheet I forgot to hide. Curiosity did the rest. "You don't need it," my father said, as if reciting policy. "She has kids." "She has choices," I said. My sister's eyes glistened on cue. "You always had it easier." That's when the room turned. 12 million became a moral problem I was failing. My success rebranded as theft, my restraint as selfishness. They didn't demand, they reasoned. Worse, they reasoned together. I excused myself and stepped onto the porch. Cold air, quiet. I called my lawyer. "It's happening," I said. He didn't ask what. He never did. "We're ready." The discovery wasn't that my family wanted my money. I'd always known that. The discovery was how quickly love became leverage, how fast gratitude inverted into entitlement. That was the moment grief hardened into planning. I didn't confront them. I listened. I let them outline their expectations like amateurs drafting their own indictments. My sister talked about timelines. My mother talked about fairness. My father talked about legacy. I recorded none of it. I didn't need audio. I needed signatures. Over the next 2 weeks, I smiled and stalled. I suggested options, trusts, allowances, temporary control. I watched their eyes light up at the sound of structures they didn't understand. I scheduled meetings. I brought documents. I let them believe I was negotiating. What I was actually doing was closing doors. The money wasn't sitting in a single account. It never had been. It was layered. Entities, holdings, a retirement trust with a voting mechanism nobody bothered to read because it looked boring. Boring is where power hides. I amended beneficiaries. I locked distributions behind compliance triggers. I added a morality clause my sister would trip over by breathing. Then I waited. The execution came quietly. No shouting, no drama, just a letter delivered to my sister's lawyer the morning she announced her new house on social media. The trust declined her, permanently. Cause? Attempted coercion, documented by council meetings she attended and emails she sent assuming ownership she never had. She called me screaming. I let it ring. The climax didn't happen at home. It happened at a boardroom table 3 states away. My father sat there red-faced, learning that the family advisor he'd hired to pressure me had also violated fiduciary boundaries. The penalty clauses I'd embedded activated automatically. Funds froze. Advisory roles dissolved. Voting rights shifted. "You're outdated. We're done here," he hissed into the speakerphone, like a man reaching for authority by habit. "Understood," I said, quietly. That was the moment the trust exercised its rights. By Monday morning, their bank called an emergency meeting. Who just fired the people who thought they were in charge? The answer was written in ink they'd signed without reading. Thanksgiving came again, smaller this time. My sister didn't attend. My mother brought a pie and an apology shaped like regret. My father asked if there was anything to be done. There is, I said. Live with the choices you taught me to make. I didn't take revenge to hurt them. I took it to end the pattern, to turn the lesson into architecture, to make sure no one ever mistook my silence for surrender again. I eat well now, sleep better. The money grows quietly, like it always has. So does my peace. They say family is everything. They're right. That's why I protected mine.